Most advice about changing your life tells you to add more habits, more effort, more stuff packed into every day. But there's an older path, drawn from Japanese philosophy and the discipline of the samurai and Zen monks, and it points the other way. Real change rarely comes from adding, it comes from releasing. The Japanese call it tebanasu, to let go from your hands. When you release what no longer serves you, you free up space for what matters. Here are 12 things worth letting go of. Treat them less as inspiration and more as moves you can actually make. 1. The overfilled schedule. In Japanese art, there's yohaku, the empty space left deliberately in a painting. That blank isn't laziness, it's what lets the eye rest. Your calendar works the same way. When every hour is claimed, you lose the room to think. So leave blocks empty on purpose. Don't optimize them. The rest is what makes the work better. 2. Endless scrolling. The samurai trained zanshin, calm and unbroken attention. Technology does the opposite, splintering your focus and burning hours you can't even remember. Take the apps off your home screen. When you have to search for them instead of tapping on reflex, you'll often notice you didn't really want them. Don't fight a habit with willpower when you can just remove the trigger. 3. Kitchen clutter. Picture cooking with one pot, one pan, one good knife. No digging, no deciding between 5 gadgets. Every movement flows. Clear out the tools you never reach for and the duplicates. Fewer choices means less energy spent on small decisions, and a clear space leaves you a clearer head. 4. Reading without doing. There's a principle, Chiko Goitsu, that knowing and doing are one. Knowledge without action is worth almost nothing. Stop buying books on reflex and reread the ones that matter. By the 3rd read, you feel the gap between what you know and what you've done, and that gap is what moves you. The samurai didn't learn the sword by reading. He repeated the motion until it lived in his body. 5. The weight you carry. When you're loaded down, you don't want to move. Heavy shoes keep you from walking. Too many commitments keep you from starting anything. Set down the objects with no purpose and the obligations that drain you. A warrior weighed down with extra gear can't respond when it counts. Only someone traveling light moves with speed. 6. Staying up late. The samurai woke before sunrise, and not just for discipline. At night, your willpower is spent, and it's easy to slide into scrolling you don't even care about. Sleep earlier. When you wake before the world moves, your mind is clear, and the hours you lost to your phone become hours to create in. The day isn't longer. You've just moved your waking life off the part that fatigue was stealing. 7. Too many choices in your closet. What to wear is a small, pointless drain that adds up before the day even begins. Zen monks wore the same robe daily. Pick basic pieces in colors that all work together, so dressing stops being a decision. That's not deprivation, it's freeing up mental room for choices that count. 8. Comparing yourself to others. There's a phrase, taru wo shiru, to know what is enough. Comparison is the fastest way to make yourself miserable, because someone always has more. When you catch yourself doing it, stop. Shift from what you lack to what you already have. The goal isn't to have more than anyone. It's to see that what you have is already enough. 9. Time with negative people. The samurai were careful about company because moods spread like fire. Courage is contagious, but so is fear. This isn't about judging anyone, but too much time around constant complaint leaves you drained. Slowly and with respect, create distance from what pulls you down and seek out people who leave you feeling alive. That's not selfishness, it's upkeep. 10. Saying yes to everything. Every favor and invitation feels like being a good friend until there's nothing left for your own life. Use a simple test. If it's a clear, genuine yes, agree. If it's anything less, decline politely. When you say yes to what you don't want, you show up half-hearted and resentment builds. A warrior who tries to protect everything protects nothing. 11. Holding on to the past. Sentimental objects are the hardest to release because letting them go feels like losing the memory. But clinging keeps you from the present. Let the clutter go, and you'll find the memories still live in you, separate from the things. The time you spend dwelling on who you were is time you're not spending on who you could become. 12. Negative words. In Japan, there's kotodama, the spirit inside words. What you say doesn't just describe your reality, it helps shape it. Say, "I can't do this," and somehow it comes back stronger. When you feel a negative phrase forming, pause. Find another way to say it, or stay quiet. The samurai watched their words because speech reveals who you are. None of these 12 will make life perfect. Difficulty still comes. But letting go creates space in your schedule, your home, your mind. And in that space, you find the thing you weren't looking for. Peace. We suffer not from having too little, but from holding on too tightly. So pick one thing from this list. Just one. Start